All right, then welcome everyone again. Yes, so today we're doing English Canadian artwork. Yes, he belonged to the famous group of 7 art in Canada. And yeah, so this is one of the Canada landscapes. Yeah, I'll tell you more about the painter as we paint. Yeah, but let's start with a sketch. So the composition, yeah, when we analyze, it's pretty much surprising. To the tree is really almost in the middle. Yes, we know this rule that generally we don't place objects straight in the middle. We like it's good always to move a bit left or a bit right, but we see the tree is almost, yeah, like if you include. So of course, then we can start. Let's say you can also notice the distance from the sky, yeah, and the river. So here the composition is fine. Yeah, it's always a bit more high than the middle of the page. Yeah, but still the sky is kind of, we have a lot of space. Yeah, so our horizon is not that high. Yeah. And of course, then we can position our tree. Yeah, it has very nice, like curvy angle. Yeah. And of course, we have to think about this feeling of wind. Yeah, so it's all in the movement of the tree, its leaves. Yeah. So when we sketch the leaves, what would be important here is that you kind of mark as a square. So let's say first I mark generally, let's say the shape, how big it is. But then we can also notice there are kind of the blue spots inside. Yeah, so the spots where the sky is coming through. And these are like really good ones. So I even mark, let's say, as a square, as a cube. So not to forget them and keep them. Yeah, maybe I make even my cubes a bit bigger. You know, so then, because it will be light blue inside. And then of course, later putting on top some brown, they become smaller. So yeah, you remember this trick. When you want the detail in the end, look, you know, to have the size it is, always make it bigger first, because of course it tends to get smaller. And all right, then we have a line of green trees on the horizon. Yeah, also make them not too big. Yeah, not too wide. And then of course we can sketch the clouds. One big at the right corner. Yeah, some 2 clouds, they go very nicely as a, like, they prolong the tree a bit. So it feels also then the windy feeling. Yeah, some cubes on the left. Then we have again another tree on, like, or the bush, let's say. Yeah, so maybe first we can do this diagonal where the tree is standing, this ground. So all the parts, let's say, here is also a blue part of light, and where the tree is standing, there is some rock. So all this part of light, I suggest you also mark kind of precisely, you know, as a square, and it will be easier to mark them and not to lose them. And bush, and the bush as well, with this nice feeling of wind, this direction. And then when we analyze the water, so there is like one light purple line right at the back, at the horizon. So we can mark also this thin line, even maybe a bit smaller. Then the water comes more purpley dark, kind of to the middle a bit more. And already where our ground is, where we're standing, it's more than bluish, greenish. So it take time to finish the sketch, no rush. So the artist, so his full name is James Edward Harvey MacDonald. So he was born in England. The Wikipedia says the town is Durham. So I imagine my English fellows that you're familiar, maybe. Where is it?
Northeast.
Yeah,
North
Durham, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah. So his mom was English, and then the father was Canadian. So I think when he was 14, they moved to Canada, and then he went to school that was connected with art, and they were already in this age with this school. They were doing lots of outside painting. And then he continued studies, and he also would have a commercial art work. So it was a company, and then he would work as a...
Evie, when was this? When was he born and died?
Yeah. So sorry to mention. So he was born 1873. Yeah. So let's say it's end of 19th century, and then he died 1932.
Okay, so a bit of an impressionist and post-impressionist stuff going on there, then, isn't it?
Yeah, very good. Yes, his artwork was lots of compared with post-impressionists. So some of his works even has this similarity with Van Gogh. So he would also has this the sunflower painting. It's a bit different. It's not like the Van Gogh, but you could find the similarity. And of course, those brush strokes, intense colors, these shapes, these of course all. He would also, the critics would also tell, that these strokes and these colors, they're not really realistic or something, but I didn't. Alrighty. So I have my paper prepared, a bit peachy orangey. Yeah, of course, if you have white paper, that's also no problem. And yeah, let's start. I suggest we start with the sky. So we have very nice blue corner, and we have this kind of yellowish bottom. So then actually you can use just blue and yellow, and then you can create this nice green, like naturally mixed. But of course, let's say it's not prohibited. You can add also green in. So if you need to make your blue a bit lighter, then of course you use some white. Yeah, and it's also maybe like you can start with a bit lighter blue and then if it feels that you need a bit darker, then you can always make it a bit more, let's say, colorful. Yeah, so I have my light blue first mixed, and then I start yeah, at the corner. Yeah, so make it nicely. Today I'm not using tape around my paper.
I'm going to use a palette knife.
But of course, Jules. I was waiting for you to say that. Yeah. All right, we continue with the brush. Maybe in the end, we can do some palette knife, interesting strokes. Yeah, but doing it all from the start, palette knife, that's a challenge. But no, for those ones, for those brave ones. No. All right, not much talking, otherwise my blue will be dry and then it will be hard to mix it with to blend it in between. So I did the blue corner, now I go just directly to my yellow and we'll do this pure yellow, very nice yellow line. So it's clean, yeah, there above the horizontal trees. So later I'll have green on top, but still it's nice to leave their pure, like clean line of yellow. It will be shiny, yeah, it will give this shiny effect. Since I have yellow on my brush, I might go just also do this bush on the left, yeah, just kind of give it some base. Yeah, and those little, those three ones also at the bottom, yeah, let's say. And yeah, with the tree, no, I won't go to the tree yet. Yeah, so just these ones. Okay, and then with the same yellow on my brush, then I go to the corner of my blue, I mean on the palette. And here you go, I have very nice green. And then of course you can play how green you want it. Yes, then just add a bit more, go more inside blue, you'll have it a bit more darker. Yeah. And then of course we try to blend it. What are the nice, let's say, blending techniques? Or like to blend nicely, first of course you need, it works when you have more amount of paint. Yes, when your layer is very thin, then it works not so good. And of course, if it's already everything a bit more dry, yeah, then you just kind of do it more like putting one, then again on top. So let's say I've put now green, then since my blue was already dry, I go on top a bit again with the blue to get in. With the clouds, as you wish, you can go around them, you can go, yeah, I kind of do halfly. I leave some areas that I kind of see, I remember where they were, but I'm not being so strict that. Now, so there next to the horizon, maybe my green is much more yellowish. This painting, so just to warn you, heads up, it's kind of, it's like a big puzzle and you will have it like only when it's in the end, you'll get it. Yeah, it's sometimes there are paintings that already in the process, it already looks almost like a finished. And then it's already like up to you which level of detail you want to do. But this one, it's like really only in the end, when you put all these dark accents, yeah, of the shadows of the trees, then it will combine. It will be like, okay, it's one together. Yeah. So don't forget about those bluish spots I told you inside the tree. Yeah, so they can be also maybe a bit greenish or light blue. Yeah, but okay, a bit too light blue. Somewhere here. And then we continue our sky till the end. So, so this painter, MacDonald, yeah, then so he was living then already and working in Canada, then grew up, got married as well, got kids. So he continued working in this company as a commercial artist, but then of course he continued painting. And in one moment of his life, then he also, let's say, in one moment he was, I think, living in Toronto or something, like big city, but then he moved back again to the smaller town, so more to the countryside. So he can continue painting landscapes. Yeah, so exactly the landscapes where he was good at, and his sketches. So exactly those on-spot sketches of him were like really intense and fresh, and then he would have his own exhibitions and getting like more popularity. And then he also so then this group of 7, it's kind of, so they were like landscape artists. They combined all together to promote Canadian art, the landscape, and they were all together traveling around, painting, making exhibitions, and so on. So after the sky, I suggest we do this light purple line. So we skip a little bit these bushes. Yeah, we also, let's say, let's dry this layer of sky. And then this light purple. Yeah, so try, if you don't have purple, yeah, I usually never have, I always mix them. And then, then you can get kind of all kind of purples, white, dark. And it means, like with experience, then you already know, okay, with this red or with this blue, yeah, my purple is getting nice. Because sometimes the purple, like you get, it's like very nice and bright, and sometimes it's like dirty and dark. Yeah, and it really depends on pigmentation of your paints. Yeah, so it even can depend sometimes on the brand. So let's say you take ultramarine, but the ultramarine can also be different from different. So then here is this light blue. Yeah, and it also might be a bit hard from the start to say, okay, is this purple enough? Like, is it enough dark or is enough light? Yeah, so when we get all other stuff, then kind of, maybe you will want to lighter it a bit, but then no problem, you just go kind of dry brush on top with some strokes and all right, what shall we continue with? Well, I suggest we create, since we moved to purple, we can work a bit on those shadows here at the bottom. Yeah, like this, we will have our water line free, and then we can kind of mix in there with those blue and purples as well. Yeah, so it will be nice, like, of course, we see lots of different purples here at the bottom. So the safe and normal way usually start with something light. So let's say you can even maybe continue working with the same purple you already have. Yeah, and then you can go darkening up. Yeah. So then be careful, watch where your lights are. Yeah, so maybe it doesn't have to be all of them exactly like at MacDonald painting, but still, you know, you kind of mark for yourself. Let's say, okay, this will be the light area, so just carefully don't go over. Yeah, because you know the best way, it looks clean, you know, when it's still kind of half transparent, when you have even almost like your paper shining through. Yeah, because of course with acrylics we can go over and put some white on top, but then it will already won't look so transparent. Yeah, so let's say I went now here around to like for all my, yeah, because some of them will be of course much more darker, dark blue, but for now so I go around just saving the areas of the light. All right, yeah, and then since we are there, then we can do a bit darker purple, or also including dark blue. So let's say you can take then a dark blue and, for example, also sit it directly, let's say where this stone is, yeah, the stone of the tree, yeah, and the shadow under it as well. Yeah? So the shadow under is even darker. Yeah, I don't want really now to go into the black at this moment, because then you really kind of very dangerously, it goes all dirty. Yeah, so let's stay just with blue, and later when we put already the accents, we can do some black where it's needed. Huh? So I put also dark blue at the bottom of this bush, the one on the left, yeah. And then I also take my thin brush, and with the same dark blue, then just maybe those few strokes, yeah, around it. Yeah, we can work on the details, or we will work on the details later, but just to get this feel. Yeah, and then you see how this bottom of this bush, yeah, with the shadow and darkness, it's connected to the the whole bottom of the purple. Yeah, so it shouldn't stay sitting separate. It should all, like the bottom of the bush, going with the ground. It goes all together. So you remember this exercise with halfly closed eyes, and that's what you do. So if you take a look at the painting and start closing your eyes slowly, 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 slowly. Yeah, and they're almost closed. And then what you see, then you start seeing just the most lightest spots. And then you notice, okay, the most light spots are, yeah, here at the bottom where the stones are, this yellow bush. Yeah, of course, the tree, but the shadow here, it is all one dark spot. Yeah, so the painting should work this way, that you work on the details. So of course, inside all this shadow area, you do some details, you do some moments, but then still from time to time, you sit back, take a look at all together, and then start uniting if it's needed. Yeah, uniting your shadows, correcting the accents. So the lightest points are there where it's needed. Yeah, and it means like the important parts where the viewer is watching and so on. Yeah, so not like my brightest spot would be somewhere at the left corner of my painting, and then of course, yeah, it will disturb the composition. And yeah, so detailing, there should be detailing, it's nice, but if you like the best detailing you could ever do, but if you don't have your whole painting all together, all nicely looking, then sorry, the details, they don't stand a chance. Yeah, so the most important still is all this general. Okay, yeah, so darkening a bit some areas. Yeah, also, so there is some red here in the middle. So in this purple shadows at the bottom, here in the middle, there are some red strokes. Yeah, so, and of course they turn a bit into brownish. Yeah. But still I think they give very nice, some like nice accent touch, yeah, a bit freshness. Yeah, so again, this painting is a bit more like a puzzle. It's like better to you go jumping from one to another. So you do a bit here, you do a bit there, and slowly you bring it all together. I find it harder to work on this painting, like, let's say, do one area, then make it ready, then do the other. Yeah. All right, yeah, since I have my purple, then I go with a bit more dark purple here in the middle of the lake. Yeah, so don't be worried about those light strokes of the water. Yeah, we are painting, so if it's it's acrylics, if it's oil, yeah, then we will put just on top those light strokes. Yeah, of course, one can also go around them, but it's a bit yeah, then I'm putting a bit darker purple, and then I'm fading it out a bit to the bottom of the water, because there already will be more there will be more of those bluish, greenish. Yeah, and the fading out can be meaning just with the water. It's even kind of just the leftovers of my brush.
Evie, sorry, I've missed what colour you've used on that corner of water.
Yeah, yes.
Like the dark bit.
It's again, I'm using pretty much just the same mix I had here at the bottom. It's this purplish, dark purple. Yeah, I see there also a bit more reddish in there. So it's kind of dark purple, reddish in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then since I've taken as experiment to paint with gouache, I wanted to compare, yeah, since I did the first one in acrylics, just to see how it turns out in gouache. And yeah, so the story with the gouache, the way they're different from acrylics is that when they dry, they look different. So here, kind of a bit, one should yeah, either know already which color you're getting when gouache is dry, or just it's dry and then you kind of correct if it's needed. Yeah, so it's again, for example, this is a bit the how you say, the irony of gouache. It's like the dark colors are getting lighter. So when in gouache I put dark blue, and then when it's dry, it becomes lighter. It's a bit like faded. And with the light colors, the opposite. When I put yellow, when I put pink, when they're wet, they look light, but when they dry, they look darker. Yeah, it's a bit kind of funny. So, yeah, and then again, and so this dark purple, a bit, yeah, maybe some also red strokes. Yeah, and then just with the water, you can fade a bit this purple. Yeah, so also just kind of giving some base layer for those greenish areas. No? Good. So after all those purples, I suggest we clean our brushes and we move to green. Yeah, because then we still have this green on the horizon, and then we can finish the water with the green. Yeah, and then it will be already then it will be the tree. Then of course, when we'll have the tree, the painting all will make much more sense. And then it will be the accents of all those light areas, the water, all those light areas at the bottom. And again, going back to dark, taking like either, it's also sometimes good to mix blue and purple. Then it makes a bit more dark, yeah, even maybe with some brown, if you don't want to use black, yeah, because sometimes some people try avoid using black at all. It depends, it's on yeah. So brushes well cleaned, new spot on the palette. Let's go for greens. Yeah, so we see in our horizon, yeah, there are also lots kind of different greens. The easiest way to do it, it's again, you take first the light green, just paint it all over, yeah, without really thinking, just cover all the space. And then on top with the dark green, you can create the, yeah, so even maybe mixed a bit with yellow. So it's a bit more sunny, fresh, let's say. Yeah, up to this moment, the sky and this purple line should be dry, so it shouldn't be a problem getting there in between. Yeah, and I take a smaller brush. Yeah, so it just depends also, of course, which paper size you're using, which comfortable, then I do with a small brush already some those strokes. Yeah, and you can notice even the lines there on this horizontal green trees, they're also a bit diagonal, they're also a bit of direction of the wind. Yeah, so you can also use this to give it a feeling. Yeah, and so it doesn't have to be the darkest green at this stage. Yeah, so let's say from light, I go to darker, and then I can put later the third green that is the darkest, that is even, yeah. You can even mix it, let's say, with blue. And yeah, mixing green with blue is very nice. You get this emerald, and you can have it also pretty much dark. And then especially the bottom, yeah, so especially where our grass is connected with water, that's also where you make darker line. It's just let's say just natural. It's like the dark line under the roof. Yeah, it's always there. So if you paint a house, you can, like, even if you paint just a square box, some triangle on top, but once you put this dark line of shadow that the roof gives to the walls, then at once it's a house one can recognize. Yeah, it's because it's always there. Yeah, of course, the roof always goes over the walls, so our eyes, our brains will get used to see this way. Yeah, so when it's missing, we kind of, so maybe don't really know what happened, but we feel something wrong. So with those bushes, the trees also, yeah, the bottom is always dark. Yeah, exactly, also because of the shadows and stuff. Yeah, but I can also draw like a little thin line of darker also on top of my horizontal bushes. Yeah, just to give maybe a bit of shapy. So, and you know, since we are, let's say you are in this dark green strokes, then you can in this bush, this bush on the left, that is also, then it has, we've been putting dark blue there at the bottom, and now with this dark green you can kind of also connect those yellowish and then also kind of get in a bit more details. Oh, I'm so curious how Jose is doing it with palette knife. I can't even imagine that. That's the best part.
It's messy.
Of course, it's messy. Yes.
Yeah. I've nearly finished.
Okay, that's also
Right, I will send you all the pictures, see what you think.
okay. Yeah, send us the. Yeah. All right. So we all with the brush we go slower. You know how you say slower but safer. So I have my green, and then I go already for a bit for the bottom of the water. Yeah, and then again I put maybe some light green first. Yeah, also especially because I will want to have some of this light green, yeah, to keep it there. So somewhere. And yeah, so it's pretty much also a good habit, like to sit, you analyze the, and so you define and you remember, okay, where are my clean light spots? So let's say, of course, when you paint with watercolors, it's really important. Otherwise, you just need to take a new paper. And but still in acrylics as well. If you have them, if you keep them clean, and it will. Okay, my phone is telling me, Jules, send us up. So I'll just finish.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge, yeah. So I'll just do quickly this since my
yes, fine rush. It was a challenge with a palette knife, and we've even got footsteps going into it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's take a look.
I can use a palette knife for ages.
Actually, me too. We should come back one lesson pure palette knife.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about doing some flowers.
It looks you're almost finished.
Yeah, no, it's just because a palette knife you can't really be gentle. So
but for example, I like it. It's the colors are nice. They're not like too messed up, you know, because sometimes you can have it like really dirty.
It's not that windy.
Yeah, it feels maybe if the tree, you can prolong a bit the tree, like even a bit more exaggerated, and it feels.
Yeah, I think so too. It's very, very wet, as you can imagine, with the.
Of course, yeah.
I'm just wondering what it'll look like if it's dried. I mean, it's really warm, so what I might do is let it dry and then see. But you can see I've got a bit messy at the bottom, so I've got to put footsteps in at the bottom.
Yeah.
But
for example, what I would suggest is maybe if say take the area of water, and make it more altogether darker, let's say.
Okay, I'm just a bit worried about doing that at the moment. What I think you might do is let it dry, go stick it out in the garden, let it dry.
So definitely let it dry.
Add some to it.
A hair dryer can be a good helper.
Yeah, but it's really hot here at the moment. Karen can tell you that it's really, really hot. It's not.
Really, guys?
Here, because down in the south of England, it's boiling.
It's blowing a hoolie and raining.
Oh, it's 31 degrees here.
No sunshine.
Oh,
it's cloudy. It's going to rain. It's going to be a storm tonight, definitely. But it's like this morning was like, oh, it's so hot. So if I stick this out the garden, I'll probably in about half an hour it'll be baking dry. So I'm going to do that. And then what I will do is I will have a little play with it tonight. And then send you all the photograph later.
All right. It sounds
Does that sound? Because I want to have a go more at that tree.
Yeah.
I want to put the trunk needs more definition, but if I'm going to start putting more in now, it's going to get muddy.
Yeah, no, the patients should
Yeah, as much as I want to do it, like I want to get in there now. I better not do. So I'm going to do that. But I'm glad I've popped in. I'll be back.
Alrighty, Jules.
Have a good evening, everybody, and I'll see you soon.
See you soon. It was really good to see you back again.
And to you. See you later, guys. Bye then. Bye.
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 Alrighty. Then so which point are you guys like? I'm planning to go further with the tree. Yeah.
I haven't put my green on the water yet.
Okay, yeah. So actually I did just so actually I haven't really finished the water. So I've put some green strokes. So it's also like, that's why I was telling, it's a bit like a puzzle. Because let's say I put some green strokes and then I leave them dry. And then let's say I can get in between, maybe again with some, a bit purplish, a bit bluish. Yeah, so then it's kind of those jumpy moments. Yeah. So for the tree, so I had my paper painted kind of already in the color. So I'm thinking maybe I even just kind of leave the paper and then just go with some, I'm talking about the trunk, yeah, and just do the brown. But then of course, well, I mean, you do just the peachy color and then feel free to sit it, you know, like thicker layer. So it's the tree on top of everything. So you can even like texture, you can even feel it. And then you can correct it a bit with those brown and if needed, yeah, again, with some purple of the water, you can correct the shape. And the leaves and the tree. So again, I like to go so from light to dark. And then let's say I can take pure yellow. Yeah, and first sit somewhere lots, maybe not lots of, but those yellow strokes. Yeah, because then later on I can easily cover them. So even if I'm not worried to put them too much, and also maybe on purpose, I just put them a bit more than needed. Then later I can decide which ones stay, which ones not. And then let's say I can go with some orange. Yeah, so just as usually grading slowly up. Yeah, and then putting some orangey, also mixing some with my yellow. And all the magic will happen exactly when we take the dark brown, the dark everything, and it will come all together. Yeah? So maybe in the tree also some reddish strokes. Yeah, and of course everything direction to the wind. Yeah, so yeah, so can give you minutes to dry. Yeah, so then not to have it all too mixed up. Yeah, then can go, for example, I can, while it's drying, can go to my trunk with the brown. Yeah, and then of course one side, of course, has more brown. Yes, we follow the. Yeah, so let's say on the light side of the trunk, you can put some brown lines, so just a bit visually to give it some like shape. But of course, the thicker and the darker brown line goes on one side. Yes, and you remember, if you want a thin line, then your brush should be watery and with enough of paint. And then you keep on coming back to fill in the brush to continue with the, with the thin line. Yeah, so, okay, I'll go slowly to my tree. Yeah, so you can also have some a bit contour on the left side of the tree. So those leaves, a bit. Yeah, and now, so we will see some brown, but what can happen then, probably you might notice brown is not always that dark as we think, usually of this color. So probably later on we will get back with some, yeah, also brown can be mixed with dark blue. And then again, adding those accents will. Yeah, and then of course try to work different, so those brown areas somewhere, so they're not the same. Yeah, some spots are bigger, more brown altogether. Somewhere it's just a thin line showing the kind of shadow under the leaves. Yeah? Yeah, now it's summer, it's really, one should use, go also outside painting. Outside painting is really, it's hard to do. It's hard, like, you need to get all the stuff and everything. Of course, it's much easier always to paint at home, but it will improve a lot, so if you're really into growing as an artist, and this will help you really see all these shadows, colors, and so on. So yeah. And the moment came for these light pinky peachy clouds, all those light spots at the bottom. So we put them, and then we come back for the darks to do all the, and of course the water also needs a bit more attention. Yeah, but no rush, we have time. I don't know, I think Jules got me. Because she painted and jumped away, so I started rushing, but no, actually no rush. I mean, as long as you have time. I have time. Wow. Yeah, all right, then again, brush really nicely clean. So when you move, when you change from dark to light, yeah, don't be lazy, wash your brush well. I mean, if you have other brush, also good. Yeah, sometimes I paint like I leave one, of course, for dark, one for light. So nicely clean, wipe it with the paper towel. Yeah, because you know, especially where the metal part connects, that's where you have the stuff. Yeah, nicely peachy pinky color. Yeah, we all know comes with pink and yellow. So of course it can be also orange, just mixed with white. But somehow I find when I mix pink and yellow, I get a bit different with peach, maybe just a bit more control, which intensity you can have. Yeah, and then of course you can add white to it. Yeah, so then it's either pale . And then nice strokes of clouds. Yeah, so somewhere it can be a bit more orangey, maybe somewhere a bit more pink and white. Yeah, those on the left, maybe the opposite, a bit more yellowish. Yeah, so again, first we just sit them, wait till dry. And then what would be also so interesting when I was like watching close the painting of the original painting. Actually, there is very nice light brown line under the clouds. Yeah, so like a shadow. And it actually works nicely when you put it. So again, experiment, maybe a bit more white or yellow, yeah, for the clouds. Just kind of what. Yeah, also a bit yellowish. Yeah, but again, if you're trying to get the color and you know it's kind of not getting, yeah, then you remember the golden rule. Just leave it, let it dry. Once it's dry, then it's easier to correct and yeah. And then the same for all our stones, the bottom. Yeah, so it's the bottom should be already dry, should be no danger, and then just sitting nice strokes. Yeah, and again, no worries if you're getting on top of the shadows. Yeah, we will be correcting them anyway. Yeah, we're going with more. Yeah, the more important part would be it's kind of watch all these light spots in between of them. Yeah, so exactly what I told a bit earlier. So it's not that they're all the same or the lightest is actually somewhere at the corner. So let's say those 3 or 4 rocks, yeah, here at the top, they should be the lightest. and everything here at the ground. Yeah, I can go already with the bit darker color, so it shouldn't. Yeah, it's really, it's not always easy to get it from the first stroke. Sometimes kind of you paint it, yeah, then you put the other one, and then it changes, of course. Yeah, so it's yeah, and then of course also those rocks, those white parts of the rocks, then them as well. Once they dry, we will put a bit more dark on the light side, so it's not just one plain flat light thing. It's yeah, it has also the shape. Yeah, so then we need to put some darker tone on the side. Yeah? So yeah, I'm waiting till it's dry. It means I can go back to my water, see what's going on here. Yeah, then my water is dry already, and can do some second layers. Yeah, so then it's already, you see what's on your area missing. If you miss a bit more green, or actually the opposite, yeah, it actually might feel you need to get in with more dark purple. Yeah, that's actually what probably happened. So, so it's also in, when we put those bright yellow strokes on the water, then it's actually, they will look even brighter if we put a bit darker line of purple right under them. Yeah, so it's so I'll see now if my yellow works to put the strokes. Oh, yes, it should work. A bit too big. And then also the strokes of the water, let's say maybe you can start better with those on the back, because sometimes, because you know, we need big and small ones. So let's say if your brush allows you to do like the smallest pot that big, means better you start with small ones. It means that, because bigger you can always make, yeah, but smaller sometimes it's impossible if you don't have the right brush. Yeah. And of course we try to make bigger, smaller those strokes, but no worries. Yeah, we can correct them also with purple. Yeah, because I also already see on my painting some of them are too the same, or some on the back are too big. Then I'll go just with the purple brush and correct them. Yeah, and here in the front, of course, we make. Yeah, so you actually might get surprised how actually much more darkening one like will go with the painting. Yeah, so yeah, and then again, I can go and put now a bit more my yellow strokes. Yeah, so because since I'm planning to cover some of them with purple, then it's fine, and go with more. So my My stones should be dry, so I make a bit light brown on the side of those light parts of the stones. Yeah, just a few strokes lightly, but at once it will give the shape. And since I'm in the brown, then I remember to do this light, very watery, transparent brush, like strokes under the clouds. Yeah, and again, maybe not everywhere, but just a bit. Somehow it gives nice feeling, nice. Maybe the tree somewhere needs to be corrected. Alrighty, I'm going for this very dark part. Yeah. So what? Yeah, because yeah, okay, I'll use some black, but very little. So, yeah, because still, of course, I don't want a really dirty color. Sometimes. And then maybe dark blue. Yeah, let's say dark blue, brown, and a bit of black can be a good combination. But then, of course, you work well on proportions. Yeah, still not too much black. So blue and brown comes usually in the equal proportions, 50-50. And the black is kind of some part. But all right, yeah, and so like lots of places. So let's say this stone under the tree, and then it has shadow that it gives. Yeah, so the shadow is darker than the stone. Yeah, and what I'm working here with the dry brush. Yeah, so let's say you can even, when you did the mix, you can even kind of clean a bit more, some leftovers of the water. Yeah, so then it's nice. I have more control. Yeah, when it's with the brush strokes, sometimes I also kind of use them. They turn out nice, the strokes, as if it's ground or. And then I also like when I do the dry brush strokes, and some moment the paint, of course, is over, but before coming back to fill up the brush again, I continue kind of moving my brush, and then it gives already lighter strokes. Yeah, and then I use it in those areas where I need. And yeah, but don't be afraid to darken more and more. Yeah, those say this ground area. Because you know the real like those interesting places on our paintings, they're exactly where the biggest contrast, yeah, where the darkest and the lightest thing is. So And then maybe I can also take the thin brush and then go again a little line here at this bottom of those bushes on the horizon. But this one already, as you feel, if you feel your one's already too dark, it's good. Yeah, but I'll give few strokes, yeah, a bit maybe like as an accent or. Yeah, but then again, remember, not everywhere. It's not one long line. Yeah, somewhere there is line, somewhere there is no line. Yeah, so we will go actually almost in all places of the painting. Yeah, let's say a part of sky maybe, but including also this bush on the left. Yeah, this windy one as well. So they're also somewhere, say at the bottom where blue connects to lighter areas, and with the thin brush, some thin dark lines, because it's also a shadow. Yeah. So even at the trunk as well, yeah, maybe a little bit, yeah, some. So, but only the parts, let's say, on the right, where the main shadow of the trunk is. And then, of course, I go also inside my tree. So inside those brown areas, there also I do few black strokes. Yeah. And then at once, the tree starts more like talking, it's more alive at once. Yeah. For example, also if it feels too, you can actually prolong a bit the tree so it feels more windy. So I think even in the original painting, it's not that long, but kind of, yeah, we can have some lines, let's say, in the air. Yeah, I took now red. Yeah, so when I'm in this prolonging tree, then probably more with the brown or red, or yeah, not really black. Yeah, and of course also this painting is the one that really requires you a lot looking at it from far away. So this one is the one you kind of constantly should check how it looks all together. So, and the water actually again, yeah, so I have my water still in process. So, well, to stay on safe side, I will go with some dark purple again. And then when it will be not enough, then I can go with a few strokes of this dark. Yeah. And remember, so as mentioned, I put some dark purple under those yellow parts. Yeah, because actually, what are those yellow things? This is, so the wind is blowing, the water is moving, and the water creates those little waves. And since they have shape and they're kind of on top of the water, then of course they will also have some shadow. Yeah, so it's actually, and again, so maybe not everywhere the same dark purple strokes, yeah. So maybe just kind of in some areas they are united, yeah. So I put dark purple, but not as one line, but all together with the, yeah, and some ones can have just, and then also check how your light purple looks now, because yeah, since we have all other colors around, it might look either too light. So for example, yeah, I have a feeling that my purple looks too light, yeah, and like why I have it, I have the feeling it's jumping, yeah. So I look at it and I see, so it's not all together with my water, it's like a separate line. Yeah? So it means I have to attend it and do something about it. Yeah, but first I'm here darkening a bit more with purple the water. So yeah, so this, the bottom part of the water we were putting green and some light blue. Yeah, still it can't stay too light. Yeah, so still I'm going now here pretty a lot with some purple, yes, and then it's more united, all this area together. Okay, let it sit and dry. Maybe I come back a bit more. So this one very blue stroke also. I don't like that it's too plain, too blue. Yeah, I can do some dry brush strokes on top of this blue. So just a bit, come down a bit. Yeah, so it's not too. Yeah, and then check again the bottom. Maybe the bottom needs some parts. Yeah, so of course feel free to send me, yeah, if you have some. So of course, I mean, Karen, I think Alessandra, you're not. Yeah, we use the WhatsApp chat to share and also to ask some, but if there are some doubts, or just in the end, of course, it's nice to see how everyone else did. Especially Jules, her artworks are always like, I was like, Jules, you're painting with me in parallel, but you're getting always something like, yeah, just her own style. Yeah. And so, yeah, and again, lots of checking how your painting looks all together. Yeah, in here, maybe I was already told earlier, I'm kind of a little bit in a favorable place because since, you know, I have my camera filming so you can see, and I also see my painting on a laptop, and you won't believe it, how it helps to see your painting from far away. It's like in 1 second you see all the mistakes. Then you see where something is too dark, where something is too light, where you need to correct something. Yeah, so like some option would be, of course, like you take a picture from with the phone of your painting, and it also helps that it somehow it's at once far away, and you can spot those, say, yeah, some errors or some correction. So for example, I see, and I still feel my stones a bit too jumpy. Yeah, when I say jumpy, I mean like they kind of a bit bother the eye. So yeah, I can mix, let's say, maybe brown with orange or something. Brown is actually a very nice color to make other colors to calm down. Yeah, so for example, if I want to use purple somewhere, but I don't want it to be so bright, so intense, then I add just a bit brown. Yeah, and mix it, and then it looks more pale, more and not so because yeah, for some areas I want like calm colors. No. Yeah, also maybe also going back and darkening a bit the tree also. Yeah, so it's actually a bit always surprised how much you need keep on darkening, keep on, you know, to have it like nicely shine. And okay, what can I tell about using gouache in comparison, like the same painting? Here, of course, it's been always a trick at the moment to kind of guess what the color will look after it's drying. So now I'm kind of those areas that are dry, go and correct a bit. A very nice way, let's say, if you got too messy, too dirty with this some parts of the water, you say, I put too much purple, it's kind of dark. Always nice, like you can just put some plain color, let's say it can be a bit some red strokes that of course you kind of blend nicely in, but they can give you some freshness, or also some blue strokes, yeah, also in the water, can give a few of them, and then kind of it can get you out of the feeling that it's looks not too dirty or yeah. No, Alessandra, what you say? I see your smile.
I think I made a mess, but let's try. I'll keep on adding touches. It doesn't. I think I went a bit too dark, but that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, but maybe you turn on the camera, so maybe I just because of course I'm curious.
I think yeah.
Nice.
It's very saturated, too much in your. I had the feeling that I went very quick, but it's fine. It's expressionism, so.
Well, of course, this yellow tree, this one looks nice, very shiny, very clean. Yeah, this bush.
The bush, yeah.
Yeah, but the main tree, I feel it's kind of hidden. It's not the main hero.
That's true. It's a bit shy. Yeah, it's a bit like, no, I'll add a bit more.
Yeah. So like on camera, I barely see the trunk. Yeah, so this white shiny trunk. But of course, because the camera, it's very tiny to see. But
no, but even in real life, you can't. It's very hidden.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. So okay. The other thing, maybe I just to say, yeah. So not to take like, let's say, like what I heard you now saying, and sometimes I hear and they say, okay, I'm the artist, that's the way I see it, or yeah, so or it's expressionism, it's okay. I mean, it's okay when we can say it to others and it can work, but the most important is to be honest with yourself. So if in your head you had one image the way you want it to look, when you paint it and it doesn't look this way, yeah, then you're honest with yourself and say, okay, here I did the mistake, here I mixed badly the colors, here I didn't have the patience, yeah, and so then kind of yeah, because I have my little niece and she does it all the time. She's like she messed up with the painting. She's like, yeah, I'm the artist. That's the way I should look. But then I ask, is it the way you want it to look? And so it's like just more the.
I'd just like to say I've got a load of little worms swimming across mine. I think I've just sent you a picture.
You just sent. Okay. No, I didn't get it yet.
Did you not? I might. Oh, I didn't send it. That's why I took the picture and I didn't press send.
That's a common. Whoa. Oh my God, I love so much the bottom of and everything. Whoa. Karen, that's a very awesome interpretation.
Thank you.
Yeah. So here maybe Alessandra.
See? Ah, oh wow.
It really does look like it's got a load of worms swimming through it, though.
No, no, they're not.
No, I don't feel it's worms. No, I agree. It's the only thing again. So just to avoid the feeling it's worms, you can just kind of unite some of them. So let's say some 3 at the corner, you make them a bit more together with blue line. Yeah. So, but it depends. Yeah. It just in the. For example, I would like, so the difference between this nice very blue, very greenish water, and then comes this dark purple. Yeah, maybe it would be nice to have some gradients, not one straight line, in case if you know, let's say you say, okay, this one spot is the water. Otherwise now I feel okay, this is very awesome interpretation of this ground in front. And then I see, okay, then it's the blue water, and then comes the island maybe again or something, you know. So it's just like again, yeah. If it's
Yeah.
yeah, but yay, nice. The tree is also I love the tree that you didn't get with black inside, and I think it's good. Yeah, it kept like clean. Yeah, you can feel it's mine one is also already more getting more dirty. Yeah. The only thing also maybe about the trunk, but now it's already the question of the style, or if that's exactly the way I want it. Yeah, but like 2 lines to the same, one light and one dark. Yeah, so I mean, if it's the purpose, it's totally fine. Yeah, if it's maybe just by accident, you know, you did it without thinking, then maybe brown a bit less, or the other one a bit more, or again, yeah, and it's all its length. Yeah, it's also the same. So maybe the bottom usually is a bit more bigger. Yeah, but I love it. It's such a happy, you know. So in the end, of course, art is emotions, and all these things I'm telling you in the end, yeah, if you paint it and it makes smile, makes happy, that's the, yeah, or of course depends what emotions you want to put, some cool. Yeah, so okay, I know Karen doesn't like, so Alessandro, maybe you have a good suggestion of like some your favorite famous artwork, because sometimes I run out of ideas, but and then someone has a new good fresh, but it's not, yeah, you don't, it's not a must to.
No, I'm thinking because I keep on seeing things that I would like to replicate that, but you know, when like you have a lot of idea, and then when they ask you like, what's your favorite song? Panic, you can't think of anything. Now I feel like this.
Yeah, I know. Okay, then I'm recently I've been always thinking to, yeah, I don't know, maybe just also learned to learn those easy strokes of Japanese. So maybe this I will try to do the crash course and then share with you.
I just finished a class of Japanese. Yeah. But I mean, it's extremely difficult. We did the lotus flowers.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Is it so? What material is it? Is it
the paper?
No, but I mean the paint. Is it acrylics?
It's ink.
Ink. Yeah. Because they do with ink.
Yeah, and this is watercolor.
Yes.
But boy, it's so difficult. It takes like I don't know how many millennial of practice to get me to do something watchable, because this is like, oh gosh.
What I have noticed, so if you said the other one was the watercolor, so maybe it could be a good tip. I saw the paper is kind of thin because you were holding. For watercolor, the most important is paper. It's like
but this is Japanese ink, like
okay,
he was doing this on this. No, I do have like a selection of watercolor paper that I could open a shop.
Okay, interesting.
That's also the tricky bit of sumi-e, because the paper is so thin, and the brushes are let me split what are these kind of brushes that I don't know if you can see, but they have a massive belly. And they take a lot of water, and takes practice to master how to use them. So it's a series of different elements that at play. Paper,
so
the ink,
the paper is also then it's a special paper. It's not
a special paper. It's called rice paper. It's a special paper for ink.
Oh, lots of shopping to do. I think I spent all my money in those art shops.
Yeah. The last time I went to an art shop, I went like looking for dry point etching plates. I entered. I came out with 50 pounds less. No dry point etching plate, and like an amount of watercolor paper that is like, they had arches on sale.
Oh yeah, I mean, the arches, the
it's on sale, you have to. It's crazy expensive, that paper. So
that's true, but the good thing, you can use it from both sides. So at least kind of
and also like you were saying, I think with watercolor, the main thing is the paper. Like it makes a massive difference, like unimaginable.
Because sometimes I see that the ones who start, it's typical, you think, okay, first I practice and then I get the expensive paper. But with watercolors, it's exactly not the right approach.
No, it can be discouraging when you start on cheap paper, because it's really difficult.
It's just because it's not working. If the paper is cheap, so you do the same strokes, but if the paper is and
now, if you're lucky enough to find some like middle ground, like here in UK, there is a Bockingford that do like a really good paper. I mean, not at the level of arches, but it's really good and much cheaper. And that's a good start.
Of course, I always also have like cheap paper, more expensive, and then of course, if it's depending what's your painting plan, then you take.
A good idea could be a watercolor for or you do only acrylics.
No, we do also watercolors. Karen, how you are with watercolors? Have we done together?
No, I've never done with you.
Oh, okay, we can do next time then. I mean, you have watercolors, don't you, Karen?
Probably.
Check.
I'll have a look.
And then I'll in a few days I do crash course of some, I don't know, because what's famous watercolors?
I love, but they are quite difficult, Turner watercolors, like those storms, and William Turner watercolors are.
Whoa, yeah.
I went to see an exhibition at I can't remember if it was the British Museum. No, it was the Tate.
Yeah.
I was like mesmerized, like I couldn't believe my eyes. Turner is a.
I went to a Turner exhibition at Tate St. Ives. It was absolutely amazing.
Was it? Yeah. He's, oh gosh, I can't even talk. Like he make me speechless, and I'm Italian. I can talk a lot.
Where are you, Alessandra?
In London.
Okay.
You are in Durham. You're the no.
No, I'm in Cornwall.
Oh, yeah, you said Dates and Types. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I love Cornwall. I miss
Yeah.
it.
Very beautiful. I spent many, many years living in London, though.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Enough.
30 years in London. Enough.
Enough. Yeah. After 11, I'm gonna say, is it enough? Start feeling enough.
Yeah.
Which part of Italy are you from, Alessandra?
Turin,
Turin. Ah, okay, so north.
the northwest.
Good. Yeah, I have my boyfriend. He's Italian.
Ah.
Yeah, but then he from Sicily.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice area.
It's,
Did you go, or do you go sometimes like to visit?
yeah. So now he's there, I'm here. So yeah, I'm traveling. I prefer to travel to Sicily because like Latvia, yeah, the weather is it's like, so I always say, yeah, better I go to your place. So.
So he's not living there with you. You are like
No, yeah, at the moment it's just like all around, but yeah. Cool. Yeah, so in July then I'll do the classes from Sicily.
nice. And don't put any cover the background because I'm gonna be so jealous.
Oh.
And
Yes. Ok, va bene.
Va bene.
Yeah. Okay, I'll stop chatting.